Good evening, you're watching NDTV 24/7 and this is India Speaks. We're looking at two issues here. Should the well-to-do give up their LPG subsidies? We'll also be looking at the ban on diesel vehicles in Delhi, and the drive has been faltering. So 100 crore rupees in subsidy, that's what the Prime Minister said, had been saved with 2.8 lakh people giving up the use of subsidized LPG, and the money, the Prime Minister said, could be used for schools and providing medical facilities. So what does India think? At least the voices we have on the show from Bengaluru, Maya Sharma, and from Kolkata, we have Mohideepa Banerjee. Maya, do the people with you agree with what has now become a drive led by many members and heads of India Inc.?
Well, let's see, Amitabh. Yes, subsidy meant only for the poor or meant for the middle class as well, even for those who can perhaps afford the full price of a cylinder? Let's find out. Well, you've heard about Modi asking for people to give up that subsidy on the gas cylinder. What are your thoughts on this? Should people give it up, or are they entitled to it? What do you feel about this?
We exactly feel that we should have the subsidy because we live in Ramurthy Nagar and we pay around 1,500 for a single gas cylinder. So with the subsidy, I think we can do much better. And actual cylinder only costs around, I guess, around 500 bucks. Yeah, we're paying 3 times the amount.
So you feel that it's okay to take it? It's not only for those below the poverty line, it's for everybody?
Exactly. The people below the poverty line need it the most because, you know what, they need the subsidy. They can't pay extra. And like 1,500 a month, not happening. Yeah.
All right. What do you feel? You've heard this young man saying that, yes, we deserve the subsidy, we should take it even if above the poverty line. What are your thoughts on this?
See, I honestly think, firstly, the government is being quite hypocritical because, you know, when the UP government in their time said that they want this thing, the BJP was against them, is what I read in an article. So the fact that they're now suddenly just to, you know, seem like they're really good government and they care about all of us and the poor and everything, they're saying this, but I honestly think that it's a political move or something. I don't really believe what they're saying might help us. But if it were to, then that would be great.
If it were to really help the poor. You have doubts about that?
I have quite doubts about it. But since like all these Reliance and Tata and all have told their you know, employees to give it up, so I don't know. I'm kind of doubtful. But yeah, if it works, then great.
Appeals from the Prime Minister, give up the subsidy. Already lakhs of people have signed up and have actually decided to give up that subsidy. What are your thoughts on this?
See, if I look at the country, it's already like poor are getting poorer and richer are getting richer. So if it's a move that can help the poor people, then I think the employees should give it up. It won't mind if we'll paying 1,500 or 800, but if a person who is not able to get it, if he'll be getting it in just 500, it's a great move so that the people can get food for India.
So doing your bit for the country, think is worthwhile.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on this?
I support all the three. That's it.
Okay, all right. So, Amitabh, different views here. Some people saying that those 100 rupees saved do matter, even to a middle class budget. But others saying if it does help the poor, well, then maybe those who can afford it should surrender that subsidy, not take it each month, not get that amount credited to their bank.
Right, let's check across in the east, in Kolkata, what people feel. Moni, do people still have divergent views there on whether they should give up the LPG subsidy if they can, that is?
Very divergent and some, I would say, very sarcastic views on the whole thing. Let me go straight to Indranath first. Where do you stand? Will you give up your LPG subsidy?
Certainly not. The reason being, if you go back some time back, this was done by Atal Bihari ji to do the market linkage. And standing at today's price of crude, I think the LPG prices should be around 200 to 300, whereas we are already paying 600. So there is no point in giving up our subsidy. And moreover, the fact is that we are paying so much of taxes, and the service tax has increased recently. So I don't find any point giving up the LPG subsidy.
Okay, so a gentleman here saying not giving up on LPG subsidy. Chandrama, where do you stand?
I think it sounds good on paper. The idea is good, but as is the case with this government, everything, it's all about big talk, huge numbers, but not real tangible benefits. So as long as that does not come across, I think it sounds good, good idea, but a little skeptical about the actual benefits.
skeptical about the actual implementation and the benefits. And let me go straight to Arindam. Arindam, you were telling me about emotional atyachar.
Yeah. So this is a government which has tried every crooked trick in the book, and when it has failed, now it has resorted to emotional blackmail. Because let's face it, this was the same government which played middle class messiah back when UPA government was there, trying to thwart this very attempt to get away with the subsidy. But now you are asking us to give up on the subsidy while you gorge on 27 rupee a chicken a plate at the government institutions all across the country. So all I'm saying that if I had to really put up with emotional blackmail, I would give my ex-girlfriend a call.
What can I say? Amitabh, I thought I was going to have divergent views on this, but right here, these three people definitely, not for giving up the LPG subsidy. The lady here says that it's a good idea, but she is skeptical about its actual benefits and its implementation.
And I can tell any of our viewers that it's very rarely that you'll get Mohitipa at a loss of words there with people reacting. But Maya, just coming to you about this emotional blackmail that one view is coming across there from Kolkata about the government. But what do people feel about top business people and maybe other famous personalities coming out on Twitter, coming out on social media saying that people who can or who are willing should give up? Is that a good trend?
Okay. Now, with this whole gas subsidy thing, many top business leaders, many famous people have come out and asked the people, give up that subsidy. How do you respond to this kind of appeal?
Yeah, we also like the same thing, madam, because it creates a lot of confusion over the people around, Like we are paying the amount in the thing and that is going to the bank, and already we have suffered so much with that. Still it's not started, just this month it is started, no?
Yes.
Still we have not got.
But do you think you still should get it, or do you think you should give it up?
No, we should give it up, ma'am.
You should give it up. Why? Why do you feel that?
Why? Because it is all, confusion, I feel.
Because of the confusion, not because of the moral and ethical reasons. Now, many big names have also come out, they've appealed, give up the subsidy. Do you respond to it when celebrities actually ask you to do this? Or is it your own conscience? Or is it Modi?
No, actually, why I would like to give it up is because I want to do something for the country. It's not because of the political effect, because I don't want to get into that. Although Mr. Modi is taking the move for the political benefit only, but still I believe that it's for the social cause, so employees should give up that. I just believe that.
Now, social cause, you have said that it does make a difference to a middle class budget, the 1500, 800. Do these emotional appeals by big names, do they move you at all, or is it still your own decision?
No, it's my own decision, because middle class family paying 1500 for a single cylinder really does not make sense, because they have a lot to take care of.
All right. Now, is it like emotional blackmail, or do you feel that you're being given it?
Sort of.
And would you succumb to this emotional blackmail, or?
No, not yet, but I don't want to come through it also.
Okay. What about you? Emotional blackmail, or a genuine piece of advice from those who senior, the big names?
See, I think the fact that they're supporting Modi, they also have a benefit from that, because if you're going to publicly say that I support the Prime Minister, he will also help you, in some sort of unethical ways which we don't know about. So I think there are two angles to this, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so different responses here also as to whether they will listen to the appeals of celebrities and other big names. Is it emotional blackmail? Well, some wanting to give up the subsidy because of the sense of duty to the nation. Some wanting to give it up because it's just too confusing to get it done.
Moni, just coming back to you, I hope you have gathered your breath after that gentleman there with you took it away. But for those who do want to give up this subsidy, do they know how to do it? Do they know there's a website that tells them how to do it?
Do you have any idea how to do it if you want to give it up? Or rather, let me ask you, Chandrama, since you thought it was a good idea, if you wanted to give it up, do you know how to go about it? Give up your subsidy?
As of now, I think they have a process in place, the direct benefit transfer. Like I said, the process is in place. It sounds very good. I think if the implementation goes off efficiently and smoothly, I think it should work.
There was another question that was coming up while we were talking over here, waiting to get back to you, and that was, who defines middle class, who defines rich, who defines abilities to give up LPG subsidy? What do you feel? I mean, who can define who can give up LPG subsidy?
I think that's a pretty difficult question to answer, because it's a very ambiguous question. It doesn't hold that much value. It depends. It depends on a number of things, that how you define a rich or a poor, what are his abilities to pay. So it's very difficult to answer that way in a single word or that way.
Do you think they should do something like fixed income slabs, like you have so much income, then you don't get subsidy for LPG? Arindam, on a serious note.
Yeah, that would at least be a concrete way of going about it. Let's face it, this is not an issue that's coming up for the first time. We had this very same issue back when the creamy layer in quota in educational institutions things came up. That was the very same thing. Who should get the benefits of a subsidy here and back then should be categorically defined, that this is the limit of which you can be allowed to get the subsidy or not.
Like you get 10,000 rupees salary a month, you don't get subsidy.
Fair enough. I absolutely agree with that.
But tell me.
On that incident, I just feel that we are already paying higher price. If you are linking the whole thing with the market, with the prices going down,
international market.
In the international market, the prices going down to $50 a barrel, the prices should come down. And see, we are paying at the last price. See, last year it was $115 a barrel. So we are paying at that same level. So how we are getting benefited? The government is not coming down with the prices. That is, they are already charging that. It's just an eyewash on the part of the government.
But don't you think if the pressure on you can feel it so much, then it will be even more so for those not privileged enough to bear that?
Yeah, exactly. But exactly, it is a burden on all of us. But if they get down the prices to it's a range between 200 to 300, they get the range between 200 to 300, and then ask people who are able to pay. Then everyone, I think, would be willing to pay, and those who are not able to pay, let them pay at 100, 50, 75, whatever suits the government. I think that's the best way to go.
Okay, so you have some concrete ideas coming up over here. One is that we are paying much more service tax than before, so perhaps that should be considered. Number two, who doesn't take the subsidy? Could there be a fixation of slabs of income perhaps, that says, okay, if you earn over 10,000 rupees a month or 20,000 rupees a month, you can't get a subsidy. Let's make it as simple as that. And finally, of course, this young man here raising the point of international LPG and gas prices and saying that since we are now all globally connected, if the global prices are going down, then why should we be paying more?